Yo guys, welcome back, and as promised I'm going to start modifying the Swift. It almost has no engine noise whatsoever, so today we're going to fit an MST induction kit, which is like a almost enclosed air box. So I'll show you it in a second anyway, but we'll get it in the garage now. I'm just going to move the Skyline out first, so let's get on with that. So I've just given the Swift a wash as well, so it's actually nice and clean for once. One thing people didn't tell me about having a yellow car is that it gets absolutely plastered in flies and it takes ages to keep clean. So this is the stock 1.4 booster jet engine, and basically we're going to be changing all of this, taking this pipe out and replacing this elbow with a silicone joiner, and then the whole induction kit comes over here, and then there's an airbox over this side instead. It looks a hell of a lot neater and tidier, and it gets rid of a lot of this plastic rubbish. The kit I've gone for is from MST Performance, and yeah, this is the kit. So this is the big pipe that runs across the top of the engine, and then you've got your silicone elbow that comes off the turbo, and it gets rid of that big resonator box. And then here is all the airbox wrapped up. We'll get that out in a sec, and then you've got your filter inside of there. So we're going to start by removing this cover, which is literally just made of like foam. From there, disconnect this sensor, which I assume is probably a air intake sensor or MAF sensor, but yeah, undo that and disconnect the plug. Then this intake pipe should just pull off. There's nothing clipped onto it, there's just a pipe on the back. There we go. So that's that pipe off. Then once that pipe is off the other side, we can remove all of this, which can pretty much come off in one piece. So just disconnect the breather. Oh, it's come out from the wrong side, but that should be fine. And then just undo the clip furthest away on there, the 8mm. So that's that one, and then the very bottom clip, which is the one that connects it to the elbow coming off the turbo. Then once that clips off, that pipe should pull off that end and then off that end, and that gets rid of that massive resonator that'll probably just be making it very, very quiet. Then a deep 10mm socket to take out these two studs at the front. So there's that one there and that one there, and then they should just wind out. And then last thing to do after that is take this vacuum pipe off the side of the airbox, and then that all should lift out. And then I think at the back it's just sat in some like little clips, and then the whole airbox should pull out. But yeah, totally missed that, sorry. There's a clip holding your MAF sensor in, so just squeeze those two prongs together and then that should pop out. Then last thing to do is we want to take this air intake pipe out, basically because this is where your airbox is going to sit. So there's a 10mm at the front here, and then there is one down the side here. So undo that, and then there is another one just at the front going in that way, which you'll probably need a spanner for, and then yeah, that pipe will come out. So we'll get all of those off. So I've taken all of those three bolts out, but it's still pretty tight. It turns out that this bolt here as well holds it in. I didn't even notice that there was a little bit going off there, so yeah, just undo that one too. There we go, so that's off, and then that whole pipe should come out, and then it's looking a bit clearer in there already. So that is the whole original airbox out. Before we put it back together, let's just take a second to appreciate how good this thing looks sat in the sun. I haven't built many good things in my life, but that looks sick. So these are all of the bits for the car. This is the elbow that comes off the turbo. Then you've got your intake pipe that runs right across the top of the engine. Your airbox top cover, and then your filter. It comes with all the clips, the bolts, and all the brackets and everything. You've got instructions on how to clean the filter, and then also installation instructions too. And then as a nice little extra, you've got a sticker and a keyring, and also an air freshener, which is pretty cool. So first things first is the silicone tube. So we've got brand new clips that come with the kit to go on there, and then we'll just sit that side onto there, and then we'll tighten the clips up. Breather pipe here just wants to go into the side of it like that. It's not very easy while I've got a camera in my hand. But yeah, like that. And then this clip just wants to go back up there because we didn't actually need to take it off. And then, yeah, so that wants to sit roughly about there, so it's straight. So we'll tighten this clip up now. So once you've got your hose on, next up is the airbox that wants to go in before you put your pipe, the rest of your pipe in. So you need to also remove this 10mm bolt. So you've got the two that you took out for the original air pipe, and then you have this one too that needs to come out. And basically this airbox mounts onto those bolts. Once that bolt's out, then you just want to remove the pipe going to your header tank. Just put that out of the way for now, and then this goes in here and mounts like that. But as you can see, this side isn't lining up, and it's because my battery is pushed all the way to this side, so my terminal is hitting the side of the airbox. So what I'm going to do is loosen this 12mm bolt, push my battery as far as it can go that way into my tray, and that should give me enough space to get the box in. So yeah, 12mm bolt just clamping the battery down. Shouldn't have to take it all the way out, just loosen it off a couple of turns, and once that is loose, you should be able to just push your battery all the way to one side. So that has gone all the way to one side, and hopefully that should have given us enough room to get the battery airbox mounted in. So that is just about right. It is touching the side, but I don't think there's a lot we can do about that. So yeah, next up is get these bolts into the front of this airbox. So there are some nice new shiny bolts that come in the kit that just want to go in here. They're 10mm headed, so they want to go in there. I might need two hands for this one. So they're all in. This one here just wants one of the washers that comes in the kit on it, just to make it a little bit wider and hold that in place nice. And then once that is all in place, you get your header tank tube, and it slots through this hole on the side, connects back up to the top of your radiator like that. This rubber grommet wants screwing into the side of here after that, so back of your airbox, and then there is a screw there. The shorter end wants to go in this side, I think, just so it doesn't hit that vacuum pipe, because otherwise it's probably going to be too long. So yeah, that one's screwing in there like that. Even the short end's pretty close to it. So yeah, just as tight as you can with your hands. And then this bracket here, just the L-shaped bracket, you can see there's two nuts welded on the back of there. That basically just goes on like that with two bolts onto this side, and then obviously a nut onto there. So we'll get the bolts. So there's two Allen headed bolts, black ones, that go into there, and then this one wants a panel washer on it, and then there's a nylock nut that goes on there, and then that is all you need for that. So I'll tighten those up, and then we'll get on to the next stage. So next up, we need to fit the pipe that connects this together. So we need to take this bolt out at the back of the bracket near number 4 coil pack, because that is the bolt that is used for the mounting bracket for the pipe. Oh, try not to put a massive dent in the side of your airbox while you do it. That is out. Big long bolt. And I'm pretty sure you just reuse that bolt. So best thing to do, I think, is going to be slide it in that side first, and then once that side's in, push this side together. I might need both hands for this, so excuse the camera angle for a second. But yeah, that is on there. And then obviously just slide it in and out of that pipe until you get it to a point where you can mount that back up. So big long bolt again, just to go onto there. And so yeah, just tighten that up so you've got your air pipe nice and central in that hole. And then you clip on this end of the pipe, just wants nipping up. Doesn't want to be too tight. Good thing about this kit as well is it's actually much lighter than the original pipe that comes off it, because this is all aluminium and it's super lightweight compared to the original airbox. Then once that's all in place, you've just got your vacuum line to plug onto here. This is a filter, and it comes with a Jubilee clip as well, but it is easier to get the Jubilee clip on the pipe first, then push the filter on as far as it'll go, and then what I'm going to do is put the Jubilee clip on like that with the clip facing up, and then there is enough room to tighten that clamp up. Man, that looks so much better than the original. Last bit of the kit to go on is this panel. So this panel basically just covers the top of the airbox and kind of works as like an air diverter plate or like heat shield. So it draws air in from the front of the car through the grille. Yeah, stops a load of heat soak. So you should have 8 of these black Allen key bolts all together. So another 4 of these want to go in this plate. I think the 3mm Allen keys are like very, very small. That should leave you with this bracket left, which you don't actually need. So the L-shaped bracket that we used is for European cars, so all the European cars should use that L-shaped bracket. And then you can see here there's 2 more holes, so that one I assume mounts onto there somehow and kind of secures onto something over here, but it is only for Asian market and US market cars. So yeah, if you've got a Japanese import, you'll probably need to use this bracket, but it all comes in the kit, which is cool. So there is 2 empty holes there now because I'm not using this bracket. So what I'm going to do is just put the bolts into them just so it looks a little bit tighter and doesn't look like there's 2 holes there that aren't being used. So again, for them, it's just these black 3mm Allen key headed bolts. So that is pretty much it all together, bar this hole here. Obviously we don't want that there, so that hole is for the factory MAF sensor to bolt up to. So this is the factory airbox that we took off right at the beginning, and that is your MAF sensor on the pipe. So we just need to take that out, which you just need a cross-headed screwdriver for. So that should, I need 2 hands for this. Just pull out of there. It's got a nice little rubber seal holding it in, so just make sure that's not torn or anything, because obviously that needs to be intact for that to work properly. So yeah, now that needs fitting in to there. There are 4 holes for this, but there is actually only 2 holes on the MAF sensor, so that wants to go in that way, so with the 2 prongs facing the top, and that just sits in like that. So you should have that little tab facing the top, and that, yeah, it sits like that. If it's really tight, you might want to just put a little bit of grease around the seal, but that's gone in nicely there. So with the kit, there is these tiny little silver-headed Allen key bolts, and they are the ones for fitting the MAF sensor. There's only 2 of them, so yeah, they just go in there like that. So these bolts are 2.5mm Allen key bolts, which is a bit of an awkward size, but you'll actually find that most crappy little Allen key sets will come with a 2.5 in them, so you should be alright if you've got one of them lying around somewhere. That is the MAF sensor bolted in, and then obviously you want to plug it back in, so just plug that wire into there, which should just push on, and then once it's all the way on, just push that yellow clip in, and that holds it on, stops it from falling off. Obviously on the original airbox there was a place for this clip to go. It isn't there anymore because it's actually part of the airbox, which is missing. So you've got a couple of options. You can either cut that clip off just so it looks a bit tidier, or maybe like cable tie it up to something. I don't think it'll hit anything there, but it should be all right. But yeah, that is the whole kit fitted. And then one last thing is just peel this protective layer off there, and that is the MST kit fitted. So yeah, let's start it up and see if it sounds any different. I should have probably got a clip of it before I fitted the kit, but it was like pretty much silent. There was almost no engine noise or turbo noise or anything. So yeah, let's fire it up. And I'll give it a couple of minutes to warm up. So I had a bit of a mad panic then, because I was wondering why my collision assist has randomly stopped working because of fitting an induction kit, which makes absolutely no sense. But it is because the camera is up here and obviously the bonnet is up, so it can't detect anything in front. So if you start the car up with the bonnet up, that is why you get that warning. It did make me panic for a little bit because I thought I'd left something off, but yeah, that explains it. So I've had it running for a couple of minutes now, and it is nice and warm, and this is what it sounds like. And we got a bit of turbo noise there now, whereas before it was completely silent. It's definitely more throaty. Then one last very important thing, fit the air freshener. So that is the whole thing fitted. A really well made bit of kit. I'd highly recommend it. It was really easy to fit and super lightweight. Like, you can see everything that's come off from before. It is a lot lighter. This is all aluminium, so it weighs hardly anything at all. But yeah, and it looks so much cleaner and nicer without all that plastic on top of the engine bay. So thanks for watching. Hopefully that's helped you. Like I said, I'd highly recommend the kit. I really like the look of it. It's very well made, very easy to fit. The instructions could possibly be better. They are black and white photos and they're not that easy to follow. But to be honest, everything's pretty straightforward. You could probably figure it out yourself. There isn't really a lot there that you would need instructions for. So yeah, that is the first modification on the Swift. I have a big pile of bits waiting to go on it, so there will be some more videos very soon. But hopefully you've enjoyed the first video on the Swift, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.